between Colonel Crawford and Canal Winchester Harvest Prep is a monster affair featuring two of the top 7 teams in the state. With the undefeated state #1 Eagles led by senior All-Ohioan Mason Studer taking on Nayal Shahid and the #7 Warriors for a spot in the Division III Regional Championship. And it's all streaming live and free from the Stroh Center at Bowling Green State University. On the way, next.
It's nice having that one-on-one connection with each one of your instructors because the class sizes are so small. You can have conversations and understand things better. They know you by name and not just by a seat in the classroom. North Central is giving me the opportunity to be able to have the same education as it would be going to that 4-year, but I can do it at home and I can stay home and still be a mom and work full-time.
It's Freedom Fest Ohio, featuring Justin Moore,
You look like I need a drink right now.
Crowder,
God Almighty, I hope you'll find
Rodney Atkins,
makes me wanna take a back road.
Austin French, and more.
Somebody else.
Friday and Saturday, July 1st and 2nd, Morrow County Fairgrounds in Mount Gilead, Ohio. For tickets and more info, visit freedomfestohio.com.
Flamin' hot, cheddar and sour cream. Flamin' hot, cheddar and sour cream. Flamin' hot, cheddar and sour cream. Genius.
Introducing Ruffles Flamin' Hot Cheddar and Sour Cream. Own your ridges.
The exclamation point on the night for Maurice Ware.
25-0 Colonel Crawford meets 21-3 Harvest Prep. D3 regional title shot on the line here tonight as we welcome you into the fabulous Stroh Center at Bowling Green State University for the Burkhart Farm Center pregame. I'm Brian Skronsky. Travis Berardi is joining me. We'll also have Garrett G-Man Parlett along with Storm Blunchley giving us some nuggets throughout the night. And matchups like this just don't come around very often. Two of the top teams in the state meeting here at a huge college venue, Travis, and a lot on the line. Two teams that feel like they belong in the state Final Four, but they got to prove it here.
Yeah, this is the first time Colonel Crawford, the Norwalk District champions, have been in the regional round since, well, the last game played in 2020, right before COVID hit. They fell to Ottawa Glandorf, but that left a sour taste in their mouth. Then they come into last year thinking they have a chance. They're undefeated going in, and they get knocked off by Willard. Well, that's been the chip on their shoulder because they've had in their locker room all season, all off-season, that score, and it's helped them. And then we come into the district championship. They're down big going into the fourth quarter, and then it clicks. They remember why they needed, where they were, who they were, outscores Western Reserve by a large amount, wins by 2, they get here. And then on the other end, a Harvest Prep team that's balanced, that needed to have some heroics as well in their district championship game. But that's the beauty of the tournament right now. Sometimes you need to get those late heroics to move on.
And I think what's fascinating, too, about this matchup, both of these teams suffered really critical defeats for their mood, their attitude last year. Both were undefeated, Travis, when they got knocked out in the district semifinals. So for the Warriors, it's a high-octane, wild energy type of program that has the same style of motivation that the Eagles have been fueled by since that gentleman right there, Mason Studer, put the final score of their last loss up in every single locker to start the season. So there's a lot here for both of these teams to try to get on to the next round. They've been motivated, no lack of that.
Yeah, and just this Colonel Crawford squad, they had great squads the last couple of years, but I think this year it's just all come together. They have multiple dynamic scorers. They have multiple players that have over 20 steals. They have 4 players over 20 steals this year, which is crazy, all averaging over 1 per game. So this is a team that on both sides can really play complete games.
We'll step aside real quick for the playing of our national anthem, Star Spangled Banner, and then we will get ready for tip-off here inside of the Stroh Center. Regional championship berth on the line tonight, folks. Talk about being in the moment, feeling the energy, the gravity of the situation. Mason Studer right there, totally exhibiting that here tonight. All right, let's dive a little bit deeper into the Warriors, a team that we have not featured yet on the OH.Report this season. As mentioned, this is a team that really likes to get up and down the floor. You talk about high energy. In the pregame tonight, Travis, I have not heard so much hooping, hollering, guys hand slapping, and just getting excited for the contest. Hopefully, they didn't use up all of the juju too early on.
Well, that's those Columbus District teams. They just have a blast playing each other. And, this team, they are used to being here. For the last 5 years, they have reached a regional, except for last year when state runner-up Worthington Christian really ran them off the court, a 25-plus point deficit. But, they're also state champions in 2019. They're mid-state Cardinal champions, and they put up a lot of points offensively with a lot of scores. Not just 1 or 2 guys, but 3 or 4 guys can average 10 points per game.
Well, the guy for them that's kind of been leading the way, Nael Shahid, the junior, a first-team all-district performer. Matter of fact, back-to-back seasons that he has been able to be nominated for that honor in the Central District. And you look at the numbers, he doesn't just do it scoring, he also really helps on the offensive glass and then defensively too.
And I've seen in some previews he has been said to be a carbon copy of one Carter Valentine, who we'll see here shortly. But, you know, it's going to be interesting who's going to go up against him defensively. But if we see him versus Carter a couple of times, that might be one worth watching here tonight.
Yeah, certainly a matchup to keep an eye on throughout the course of the evening. And for Colonel Crawford, boy, what a season it's been for them. Fueled by that motivation, of course, by how their 2021 campaign ended. Such misery in the district semifinals where they were blitzed by Willard off the court. This season, Travis, they have come out with a vengeance, an average margin of victory of 25 points per game for the Eagles. Blitzing the competition so far, too, up until the district championship
Can we talk about that district championship?
Tell me more.
I'm still not out of shock. I was calling the Buckeye Central Girls Regional Championship, and we were able to watch the end of the game live and free on the OH.Report on our way back. And you and I both have talked about this in the last couple of days. How could they do that in such a situation? It's just like a light switch snapped on. Studer and Valentine scored, I believe, 16 of their 18 points in that fourth quarter. They were held scoreless through the first 3 quarters, but they just got into it and made the comeback of the ages to stay undefeated. And if they can play like that fourth quarter, at least for maybe 2.5 quarters, because they brought it all, they're going to be in it. But they have to avoid a slow start.
Yeah, it's going to definitely be some magic that would be hard to duplicate. Let's talk a little bit more about Valentine and Studer, that combo, the 1-2 punch that has been leading them throughout the season in the last couple of years, really. And you look at all the numbers, the accolades, and what they were able to do with the season on the line, hanging in the balance, down 17 points in the fourth quarter, still down 9 with 90 seconds to go. These two guys got them out of a big hole, got them into this game.
Yeah, and these two are the reason why Colonel Crawford, not only right now undefeated, but 54 straight regular season victories, and I believe something like 67-2 in their last 69 games.
Guys have been unbelievable. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for tonight, presented by Burkhart Farm Center. Here it is for Harvest Prep. We talked a little bit about Shahid. Oliver Hudson will be in the front court. Abrams and Emba on the wings. Eagles will handle it first, going with the same starters that we've seen all season long. Studer, Braxton Baker, and McKibben, along with Valentine. And then Fickner, the lone true forward that they have inside. As we get a missed shot, Valentine maybe thought that he got touched a little bit, but no whistle came.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there, but straight up and down. And Valentine just unable to get the shot over the hand.
There was Adonis Abrams trying to drive in. Nothing available, so he kicks it back out for Hudson. See Prep reset. Gonna attack this far side of the court now.
3 players averaging over 10 points a game, but also there's 6 or 7 that average over 4 rebounds per game. This team gets at it, but they turned it over.
Shahid lost his footing inside. How about the no-look pass? Fickner kicks it back out. 3-ball on the way. Baker. And loose ball goes to the Warriors.
Double dribble.
And that's the Eagles' pressure after that defensive rebound that caused that one.
I know it didn't end in points, but can we talk about what Studer and McKibben just did there? Studer getting into the middle of the lane, juking a couple people out, getting it to McKibben, then he kicked back out to Baker, who is another player to watch tonight for 3. If he can get going, get a third score in here, that'd be great for Colonel Crawford.
Eagles 0 for 2 from the floor here to start. Another skip pass. 3-ball finds its home this time from Studer.
And that's the way to start right there. Drive it, bring the defense in, kick it out to the best player you have on your squad for a swish.
Excellent start here for Colonel Crawford, who's so sluggish out of the gates in that game against Western Reserve. Excellent sign for them. Prep looking for the answer, but guess who's there? Here's Mason. Leaves it off Valentine, transition, triple, in and out.
Really good look. I like the decision after the steal, though. And Harvest Prep's just trying to do a little too much here early on. That's another turnover, the third of the night in 2 minutes.
See if the Eagles can capitalize. It's going to be too tall for Baker. He's 6'4" as well, so Studer letting him know, my bad, buddy. Won't let it happen again. Great pressure, though, applied there by Hudson.
Yeah, just force enough pressure to get the errant throw.
So Zion gets the offense started here as he hands off to the wing and Johnson.
And you just see in the passing lanes, Crawford just getting their hands in there, creating some havoc, making it uncomfortable for Harvest Prep right now.
Here's Shaheed's jump stop. Valentine from the weak side with the swat. Foul on the floor, though, after the loose ball. And it's going to go against the Eagles and Nolan McKibben. What a defensive effort, though, for Carter Valentine.
Yeah.
And I like the matchup here with Hudson, not allowing him to see over the top. Carter's got about an 8-inch differential.
Yeah, just keeping your hands up, getting them in the passing lane, trying to block some of that vision. That's going to be a jump ball. Just Colonel Crawford really controlling the pace right now, doing what pretty much anything they can and want to do at the moment.
Frustration, too, from Nael Shaheed. Though they'll keep the basketball, will the Warriors. 2.5 minutes gone, still looking for their first points here in the regional semifinals. Double team comes.
And you can't do much against Nolan McKibben. Turns into a turnover.
Valentine pushing the pace, stripped away by Hudson, so he gives it right back. Transition triple, well short. Baker with a clean board. Valentine right now really struggling offensively. Looks like he's trying to force the issue. As McKibben
bailed out, though.
Pops the pinata from downtown.
Crawford, great start for them. Defensively, shutting Prep down for the first half of the opening quarter and hitting a couple threes on the other end. They're up 6-0.
Who will find a spark for Harvest Prep here? No one's really been able to drive anywhere through a lane because the help side defense, the sagging Eagles, have done such an excellent job.
And the couple times they were able to, they've been stopped immediately right there. Carson Fickner, I think he's going to get called for the foul, but the last couple possessions, anytime the ball's been down on him, he is really straight up and down. He has that build to where you can't back him down. It's going to take a lot to do that, and he's causing problems in the paint.
Chance for the first points here of the evening. Marshawn Oliver. Looks like Prep's looking to check in Brandon Roddy off of the bench. We'll spell out Oliver after this free throw if he makes it.
And I mean, if you're Harvest Prep, you just have to weather the storm right now and somehow.
Must have been a lane violation on the first miss.
But until they can finally figure out something on the offensive end, they just have to weather the storm. If Crawford hits a couple more shots here and gets a big lead early, they're going to have all the momentum.
So this gives Prep an opportunity to set up their full court defense. Eagles break it with a deep pass down here to McKibben. Now Valentine down the middle. Shuffle pass picked off.
They tried to get a little too cute there.
Back at the other end, the Eagles get the stop though.
I like the refs, how the refs are calling this right now. They're not calling every single contact, letting these two defensive-minded squads play.
Both very physical teams, specifically on the perimeter here. As Valentine trying to go to work yet again. Jump shot, too firm. But it rolls right back out to Carter, who's gonna try a three!
Oh.
Spun out, so Valentine, so far in this game, I think he's 0 for 5 from the field.
Yeah, but he's the player that he just has to keep shooting. Once he sees the ball go through, 2 or 3 of those shots were almost all the way down and just rimmed back out. So he's just a little bit of an adjustment, and those are going to go down.
Fichtner getting a quick breather here as he sits down in favor of Jacob Maddie. So the Eagles don't lose size when they make that swap. Maddie listed at 6'5".
And that's just another reason why Crawford's in this position undefeated, because they have those key players that can come off the bench in case, you know, somebody's having an off start or if they get into foul trouble.
Excellent acceleration in the friendly roll, drops through. First hoop of the night, and it's Brandon Roddy off the bench.
Yeah, Harvest Prep sticking to their offense, continuing to drive the lane, and that one finally getting the friendly bounce to get on the board.
Studer left him in the dust, though. Mid-range J on the pull-up. Eagles shooting below 40% from the field here at the start.
And they're getting the looks that they want, it's just they're not falling.
Harvest Prep just 33% so far. Big three came hard off the rim. It's hard for Shahid to handle.
Crawford, each long rebound, they have been the ones able to get it. Just hustling a little bit more than Harvest Prep to start.
Excellent pass, backside. Offensive rebound, second chance points.
What a hustle play there by Jacob Maddie. We just said coming off the bench, these key players off the bench are going to be huge here tonight, and that was just a man's offensive rebound and putback.
Eagles with a 5-point cushion. Hudson on the kick out, 3 ball. So the Eagles doing a nice job right now on the defensive glass, holding Harvest Prep to 1 and done again.
Ooh. And that's going to be, he did shuffle the feet there when getting back up. Can we talk about that crossover for a second, Ski? My goodness. We think it's just Mason Studer that does that, but no. Carter Valentine got some handles as well.
There's a reason Ashland University committed this kid who's going to step out here, get a quick drink. Just 80 seconds remaining here in this opening quarter. Can't ask for a much better start if you're an Eagles fan. You got a 5-point lead, and just defensively, Harvest Prep doesn't know how to attack them yet.
Yeah, that's something Crawford, if they can build on this lead a little bit until the point when Harvest Prep can figure them out, because we know this is a team that will be able to. It's just how far back are they going to be when that happens.
Good take, left-hand floater will funnel through. Roddy with the 2 field goals so far.
That was just a nice Euro steppish take into the lane, avoids the defender, up and under, gets the bucket.
Now he's got the matchup with Mason. Baker taking his time from the elbow, now up fake in the kick out.
And Colonel Crawford's been able to get it inside the lane. That's blocked.
Yeah, big block shot here on the perimeter from Marshawn Oliver.
Oh, we're going to get a foul on Roddy after the rebound. And a technical, though, on Crawford. So Roddy bumped Maddie out of bounds afterwards, gets called for the foul, and then Maddie getting a little too jolly right in front of the ref's going to get teed up. That's a tough play there for Colonel Crawford after getting some momentum. As you see, a little too much into the background, but then he starts talking, coming back out right in front of this referee. We continue to see it, and he's going to tee him up right there.
I understand the emotion there by Maddie. You see he's getting blocked out about 4 feet outside of the boundary of the field of play. Coach David Shelton going to take him out, though. Fichtner back into the lineup, because technicals are so costly in the high school game. 2 shots and the ball. It's huge.
Yeah, and the Eagles got some momentum. They were going to get the ball back right there as well after that foul. And now it's going to turn into points and possibly a tie game or a deficit after handling pretty much 7 minutes of this first quarter.
That's why that is an absolute killer, because you were about to get possession back. So instead of Harvest Prep at the free throw line here with an opportunity to close the gap to 1 and plus have the basketball, it would have been Eagle Rock.
It's only one of two. You didn't see this on the screen, though, but Harvest Prep met up with their coach over there on the court. Mason Studer casually went over there and stood there with them, listening to what they had to say. A little gamesmanship by Studer, but hey, why not?
That's just a veteran move right there, trying to get the upper hand in any way possible. Mason Studer trying to dig into the huddle and see if he can take any information away.
Big possession here for Harvest Prep. If they can score, get this even, or even the lead, it's a huge win after, like I just said, the 7 minutes that Crawford pretty much dominated.
Shaheed baseline, and it's going to drop to give Harvest Prep them back equal here with Colonel Crawford as we head to the second here in this regional semifinal.
It's nice having that one-on-one connection with each one of your instructors because the class sizes are so small. You can have conversations and understand things better. They know you by name and not just by a seat in the classroom. North Central is giving me the opportunity to be able to have the same education as it would be going to that 4-year, but I can do it at home and I can stay home and still be a mom and work full-time.
Minutes in the books, and we're all square, 8 apiece. Colonel Crawford came out of the gates hot, built a 5-point advantage. Since then, though, Harvest Prep has got them back into the game with a 5-0 run to close out the second quarter.
Cut.
As they do get the first points here with Carter Valentine. And Garrett Parlett was over listening into the Harvest Prep huddle. G-Man, what did you hear? What was some of the messages from the coaches? So I guess we don't have audio hooked up for G-Man.
But while we were away, Crawford getting a strip and a steal, and then Mason Studer, he's going to come down and get 2 shots. But back to that backdoor cut. Harvest Prep has been focusing so much on Mason Studer that Carter Valentine ran a perfect out and back in, wide open for the look. Studer finds him, goes kind of behind the back, and Crawford leads again.
Studer, normally a great free throw shooter. Not that time, 76% on this season.
And Harvest Prep had to be feeling great coming out of that quarter. They had possession, they had a tie game, but Crawford kind of getting some of that momentum back with their first possession, and now Studer adding on to make it a 3-point game.
And the length of Valentine on the perimeter has given Zion Hudson a lot of fits so far early in this game. He's deflected at least a couple of balls, and you see he's trying to drive, and Carter with that huge length advantage, really taking advantage of it.
Yeah, at the end of the regular season, he had 40 steals, but not only that, like we said earlier, the refs are letting it this game be called a little loose. They're letting some contact, and that's helping Carter Valentine out because he can get a little bit of the bump on that point guard to keep him in front.
Here he is pushing the pace, mid-range J.
And on the other end, that's a great job by Harvest Prep. Studer had to kind of go elevate a little bit more than he wanted to over top.
Beautiful dish inside. Shahid with his first points of the evening.
Looks like they missed McKibben down on the baseline. Studer was trying to call for the pass down there.
And now Fickner trying to create some space. And a difficult pass in traffic intercepted by Saunders.
But he stepped on the line, they said so. Gonna give it right back. And we've seen this so many times during the tournament where somebody will get a big turnover, but immediately give it right back and kill any chance of getting some momentum. Prep with 6 turnovers, Crawford with 5.
And that's a great sign for Carter Valentine as the Eagles faithful erupt.
Third 3 of the night, and you just knew if Carter kept shooting, one of those was going to go in. Now we'll see if he can get some forward momentum on that.
Studer creating the takeaway. Now sets up the 3 ball from the wing. Loose ball ends up in the hands here of Oliver. But sloppy play here for the Warriors. Back-to-back giveaways.
Now you can't do that against him.
Come on, the runaway freight train. Timeout, Harvest Prep. A Baker's Pizza timeout.
Wow. We waited until the 4th quarter to see Mason Studer take over against Western Reserve, but to start this 2nd quarter, it's been him really controlling the pace of this game, and Crawford now back up 6.
Saw it beautifully there on the KAPLE & Company Realty replay. When he is in the open floor, if it's even numbers or definitely if they have the advantage, you can almost guarantee the Eagles are going to get a quality look.
And just the poise, we saw that with Shane Knepp for East Knox, how he can get inside the paint and just be so composed even though there's 3 or 4 guys. Mason Studer takes that to another level. He loves getting in there with some, with defenders right on him, and he loves just making that extra move to get to the hole. And it looks so pretty as well. He makes it look so just elegant when he gets into the paint.
Studer, the leading scorer, 18 points per game. What's probably his best asset, though, his attribute that is the best is over 5 assists per contest. That dude can really dish out some helpers.
Roddy had another good look after a big screen, but too much.
Valentine dials up another triple offline. Eagles have been getting some quality looks, though, from the perimeter.
And they've gotten it because they're able to drive it inside, drive and kick, just like this.
In and out, how many times have we seen Crawford just milli-inches away from sinking big-time 3 balls?
And that's why they have to keep shooting. It's not like these are terrible shots that are 5-6 inches off. These are halfway down and back out. And just like with Valentine, he had a bit of a tough first quarter, but he kept shooting. He hit one. Now he's getting that confidence back, and that can happen also with the likes of Braxton Baker. Can't say that about Studer because Studer's been shooting pretty darn well here. And also the offensive rebounding by Crawford, getting those second chance points off of those near misses.
Certainly seems like a very confident Eagles team heading in here today after the quarter that finished off an amazing district championship win. They are frustrating Harvest Prep and getting great quality looks at the basket. 9-point lead as Baker drops a bomb.
Talking with Coach Sheldon before the year, he said, I think Baker, just the way he worked in the offseason, he has the ability to be even better than Mason Studer, or at least the same when he comes into his senior season. So when you have a Studer and then Baker, who could be a Studer Jr. on this squad, and then Carter Valentine, if they're all on, it's really tough to stop.
Eagles shooting 46% from the floor so far. 47% from long range. Shaheed can't answer at the other end. Air balls on back-to-back shots now.
Just look at Studer running the court and then giving off for that. Safe to say it's a better start than they had in their district championship game, Brian.
Carter Valentine with a dozen. That already tops what he put up in the district final. Studer's got 5. Those two combined had just 2 points entering money time against Western Reserve. Taking over here in the opening frame, man. Opening half, I should say. This has been awesome.
And just once again, Studer at full speed off the rebound, comes in, forces those defenders that are back to get into the paint from what he's been able to do, and he says, I'm just going to stop it. Here's a little pass to an open Valentine for a 3 about 5 feet behind the line, because that's in his range. That's easily in Valentine's range.
Hudson won't match it, came up short. Now Carter, look at how aggressive he's getting. Got a shot blocked, though.
Eagles able to get back, however. Last few possessions you've seen Prep drive it, jump ball.
Surprised that they made that whistle so quickly. Adonis Abrams, and a lot of the Warriors fans thought maybe that they should have had continuation in an and one.
You know what? He had his hand in there early on. I think he might have had possession enough. That's maybe a second or two that the referee saw. Wow. Thanks to that floor cam, the extra angle that we have here on the OH.Report to show you that pretty good call by the ref.
Yeah, 4 cameras for you guys here tonight at the fabulous Stroh Center at Bowling Green State University. Excellent atmosphere so far, too. I think maybe my favorite place to take in a game here in the state of Ohio. It's a beautiful venue, and it just doesn't feel too big. I think it's about the perfect size for a game of this magnitude.
Absolutely. I mean, go back a few years when one Lexington squad made a magical run through this regional tournament. It's a great place to watch regional basketball, especially Division II and Division III. Like you said, the perfect venue for seating. It's not too big. It's not like the Shot where there's a ton of open space.
Harvest Prep just 10 points, folks. This is a team, 7 of their first 8 victories. They scored at least 84 points, 90 twice this season. Totally held in check, though. It's an excellent drive by Abrams.
That's what they need to get back to. The last few possessions before that, they were driving in and kicking to some open threes, but they're just unable to. Oh, my goodness. I can't even finish my thought because Mason Studer's so quick down the other end.
Acrobatic finish right there for the senior point guard. Nice setup, better looking shot by Roddy. Whoa.
But immediately right back down.
Valentine, no hesitation. He has had a quick trigger all night, leading the team in scoring so far. He's been a volume shooter, though, to get those 12 points.
But they've been good looks as well. It's not like they're forcing things. I can't believe there's only a minute left in the half. That was quick.
Game flying by. Roddy with the offensive board, left-handed stick back.
That's gonna be a foul. Only the third against Harvest Prep, however. But Harvest Prep, that middle of the quarter, beginning in the middle of the quarter, they were trying to replicate what Crawford did, drive to the lane, then kick it out for 3, but it seems like they're not that much of a three-point shooting team. A couple air balls, a couple misses that led to runouts for Crawford. They have to get back to taking it to the hole, and you saw that in the last couple possessions. Good looks, taking it to the hole, getting buckets to get it back to within 8.
I spent a couple hours today just watching highlights of Harvest Prep to get a read for what kind of a team they are, and typically they can get to the rack on the regular, as we get a Baker's Pizza timeout taken here by Valentine, who is in a compromised situation. You know, this was a squad that I saw having a ton of success, Travis, driving into the lanes, dishing it off, lots of dunks, high-flying aerial displays, and so far here tonight, Colonel Crawford on the defensive end, what they're able to do with their length on the perimeter, it has stymied them. There have been no dribble driving lanes.
Well, it's because Crawford's such a big physical squad that they won't just let you get in the lane. You're going to have to work for those shots because they're so big. It's really tough to move them out of the paint, and just with some of the length as well at the top of that defensive end. I think it's safe to say that Harvest Prep hasn't seen a defense quite like this. Maybe in those D1 teams that they've seen in the regular season, but other than that, this is probably, well, this has to be the best D3 squad they have seen all year. Easily both ends, too.
Eagles held 19 opponents under 50 points this season. Their season average just 40.3. Meanwhile, they score over 65. So as you mentioned, they're balanced at both sides, and that's why they're the #1 team in the state. Back-to-back undefeated regular seasons. Feichner up and under.
Studer said that as he was going into a collision with Coach Sheldon, called the timeout, but the referee said, nah, not quite. You didn't have possession enough. But that's just the hustle that you see from him the whole game.
David Sheldon in his 5th regional appearance. Didn't go so well for them last time they got here.
They got to get a shot off.
Yeah, Hudson, I don't think, recognizes it. Roddy does. And he's going to be off target with that shot. Excellent first 2 quarters for Colonel Crawford here inside of Bowling Green. 10-point advantage as they head into the halftime locker rooms. Stick around. We will have the Burkhart Farm Center halftime for you guys. We'll talk about our keys to the game, G-Man's recipes for success. We'll even dive into the eye of the storm, let you know our thoughts heading into tonight's contest, and then break it down versus what has actually taken place on the floor so far through a couple of quarters of action. That's all on the other side. Keep it here. It's live and free boys tournament hoops exclusively on the OH.Report. Hi, I'm OH.Report founder Brian Skoronsky, and you've just enjoyed first half action live and free exclusively right here on the OH.Report. But stick around, still plenty more to come right here as our boys high school basketball returns after this.
It's nice having that one-on-one connection with each one of your instructors because the class sizes are so small. You can have conversations and understand things better. They know you by name and not just by a seat in the classroom. North Central is giving me the opportunity to be able to have the same education as it would be going to that 4-year, but I can do it at home and I can stay home and still be a mom and work full-time.
It's Freedom Fest, Ohio, featuring Justin Moore,
You look like I need a drink right now.
Crowder,
God almighty, I hope you'll find
Rodney Atkins,
makes me wanna take a back road.
Austin French, and more. Friday and Saturday, July 1st and 2nd, Morrow County Fairgrounds in Mount Gilead, Ohio. For tickets and more info, visit freedomfestohio.com.
Nope.
The exclamation point on the night for Maurice Ware.
Welcome to the Burkhart Farm Center halftime show. 16 points for Harvest Prep, 26 for Colonel Crawford here in the opening half. One of the highest scoring teams in the state, really stymied through 2 quarters of action. Brian's crossing along with Travis Berardi here. And boy, what a performance by the Eagles in the first half. I think that they have to be really, really satisfied with where they're at, Travis.
Absolutely. And I mean, we can talk about the way Studer, Valentine, and company have played on the offensive end, but it's the defensive effort that's been so great. A team, Harvest Prep, averaging over 70 points per game, right. 72.1, only 16 in the first half. And I think that's because Crawford's been able to shut down the paint and control that defensively and really throw Harvest Prep off their game plan.
Let's dive into the first half stats presented by Burkhart Farm Center. And when you look at these numbers here, 10 made field goals for the Eagles, only 3 trifectas, but they probably had, by my count, about 7 really quality looks from outside. This is a team that shoots it well from downtown, Travis, and you look for them to keep trying to kick it off of the drives and set up some more big threes.
Yeah, absolutely, and it starts with Studer. He was able to get in and really control the paint early on, get those looks early in the bucket, and that allowed the outside to open up. He drew in multiple defenders, kicked it to the open person. It's that court vision that he has as well. Even if he has 3 guys around him, he's still able to see where the open man is, and it's been either Baker or Valentine, 2 of the best 3-point shooters in the Northern 10 and maybe even North Central Ohio.
So you see it's the Eagles with a 10-point lead right now, but as we welcome in Chef Boyardee, what were the recipes to success heading into tonight for these Eagles? Are they cooking with the right ingredients tonight, G?
Well, so far, Brian, yeah, they are. They're holding a pretty early halftime advantage here, but a team in Harvest Prep, they're going to give it all they got in the second half. But first off, I think you got to sprinkle in at least a tablespoon of don't think about last game. And I think they kind of showed that in that first half. Of course, 2 cups of Studer and Valentine. They've combined for around 17 points tonight. And then, of course, 4 gallons of Feed the Crowd. Get other players involved and let them do their thing, as we're about ready for action here for the second half. And I'm going to toss it off to Storm with the Eye of the Storm.
All right, Storm, as we look through the lens of your eyes into the eye of the Storm, what did you think needed to happen for the Eagles coming into this game, and what have we seen so far?
Well, I think that they personally had to feed the beast Mason Studer. He's having a beast of a night tonight already, but he's coming in averaging 18 points per game, 6.4 rebounds, over 5 assists, and almost 4 steals. The dude's an absolute monster, and I think if they keep feeding him the rock, that they're going to have a pretty good night.
All right, appreciate you guys, Chef Boyardee and our guy Storm going inside of his mind. That's what they thought heading into the game, and so far, the right ingredients are coming together. And when you look through the lens of Storm's eye, Mason Studer has done what they've needed him to do. Not necessarily scoring, but the way that he's pushing the basketball and defensively,
exactly,
getting it done at both ends.
He is controlling the pace of this game. It's not just the whole team. It's Mason Studer is controlling the pace of this game. And when they play at his pace, Colonel Crawford is able to score at bay and win basketball games. Now, he wasn't able to control the pace the first 3 quarters against Western Reserve, and we saw what happened. But then he took over, and Crawford got back into it. And I think that 4th quarter really has fed into this game.
Certainly have rode a wave of momentum so far. Got the double-digit lead as we open up the 3rd. Tough pass, though. Double team came, and Fickner forces the giveaway, and back at the other end. This is what we were expecting to see from Harvest Prep. Abrams, coast to coast.
Yeah, we've been seeing Studer do it, but now if Prep can start getting back into this, they will be far from out of this contest, down 8.
Try to get the ball out of Studer's hands. So strong with the basketball. 3 guys around him before he gives it off.
And in most cases, that would be a turnover, but Mason Studer just able to do enough to get it off and maintain possession.
Tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Nael Shahid.
But Harvest Prep comes out here to start the second half like they got shot out of the rocket. Just really high-paced defensive effort so far for them, and it has turned into a bucket here in the first 45 seconds.
Studer with Saunders on him. Has to pick up his bounce. Now Mason again, the mid-range.
Oh, by the way, he has a really good mid-range game. He's shooting over 57% from inside the arc. And when he gets that elevation, shooting at his highest point, it's going to go in.
Here comes Shahid. Has to kick it out. Now Oliver clanks it off the window that time.
And that's why you saw him so open. Coach Sheldon's, you can play off him a little bit, let him try and take that 3. If he makes it, okay, but most of the time they're not going to make that shot.
Studer back to Fickner. Squeezes it inside Valentine. Wrestled with the defender and fouled on the floor.
And that's what we saw him try to do early on to start the 3rd quarter, was find Valentine underneath. That time he was just able to hold the ball a little bit longer and get it over to cause the foul, the first foul of quarter number 3.
Studer, clean look downtown, likes the view.
Now I know why you guys are so speechless in that fourth quarter, because you just need to sit back and enjoy what he has been doing here tonight.
That one all the way around before it eventually popped out. Loose ball foul, though, is going to go against CC.
Yeah, they're going to get Braxton Baker for, I'm thinking the movement of that arm on the rebound, maybe elbow got a piece. That's all I can say, because he's going up and down.
Trifecta back iron. Baker, nice block out. And Shaheed, body over the end line, is going to give the ball over to the Eagles. Love seeing all the comments flowing in here on our Facebook and YouTube. If we get a chance here during the next break, we will dive into some of your comments, because we see that they are funneling in droves.
Yeah, and we got over 500 people watching on Facebook alone, so thank you to everybody that is tuned in right now, live and free.
Fickner turns inside, quick hands, tipped away. See Oliver there with a nice defense.
And Fickner starting to try and do a little bit more offensively here in the second half, because you've seen Harvest Prep here in the first 3.5 minutes really key on Valentine and Studer and shut them down. If Fickner can get a little bit off of an offensive game going, that will just only open them up.
Foul's going to go against Hudson here, and it seems the game plan out of the break here for Prep is definitely to be more physical defensively. I'm watching. They're not giving breathing room. They are eye-to-eye, nose-to-nose with these Eagles at the start of every single possession here. Valentine whirls inside, big bucket.
Yeah, they've been doing great defensively, but not often do they have to do it against Mason Studer and Carter Valentine, who still get open looks despite that.
Nice crossover, Roddy. In and out, Shaheed.
I'm guessing that's why he's a first-team all-district player. He avoided the over-the-back call, went straight up, got the rebound, and then just fluently puts it back up and in. As we'll see right here on the Coldwell Banker replay. Even with a little bit of defense, able to angle his body around and get the reverse layup.
So as we've got a Baker's Pizza timeout, let's dive into the comment section, and we see Deb Lay say, way to soar above Eagles. Becca says, let's go Eagles. Carter from Western Reserve, but still cheering on CC here tonight. Amy with just a bunch of Eagle emojis. Jody cheering on the Eagles as well. Very pro Colonel Crawford here in the chat section. Cole Hollis jumping on the bandwagon too, all the way from HAWAII, says, what's up to Coach? Patrick Fulton cheering on the Eagles. Good luck, Crawford from Cary, Ohio. A brand new one. Let's go Crawford just came in too. In Owens men's basketball, Mike Lannis says, where are you at? Not sure.
Well, it looks like Owens men's also is a reply. They are in the building.
Valentine with the hesitation move right into the body of Shaheed. Won that battle. And now Robbie back the other way. Shot block by Baker.
What hustle by him to get back, and it leads to the dunk.
Valentine pushes the lead up to 15 as he soars above the rim. Just at the midway point here of the third.
Wow.
Difficult shot by Zion Hudson.
But can we talk about Braxton Baker? He ran at full speed just to get into position, and then instead of fouling, gets the rejection, and it leads to the dunk on the other end.
Hudson down on the ground, so it's a 5-on-4 for the Eagles here. Should get a clean look. Baker puts a pie in the oven, a big smile on his face, the junior. Huge bucket, huge sequence for him.
Largest lead of the night for the Eagles. And another block by Baker. And he caused the turnover.
Number 4, Braxton Baker having himself a performance right now in the third.
Look at that, blocks it right back into the offensive player, deflected out of bounds. So you're talking about Valentine and Studer a little too much. I want in on this.
Full court pressure being applied now by the Warriors. Going to try to speed up the Eagles, who have some excellent ball handlers, of course. Valentine almost stripped that time, and he wants a timeout.
Smart call. Bit of a trap there. I know you're still up 16 points, but you can't let Harvest Prep get any momentum. They get a steal and a bucket there. They can get back into that full court press and maybe turn the tide. So now Coach Sheldon able to get the timeout, able to set something up now, get a press breaker in there, now set up maybe a bucket here to even extend on that lead.
Use this opportunity during the Baker's Pizza timeout to thank all of our generous sponsors, bringing you live and free coverage tonight, including the Burkhart Farm Center, where farmers are serving farmers, KAPLE and Company Realty, First Federal Community Bank, Freedom Festival, Ohio, North Central State College, and Frito-Lay.
Have some good fun here tonight, Brian.
And if you're an Eagles fan, you have to be wildly entertained by the performance put on so far by your AP poll champions. They came to play such a different looking team than we saw in the district championship, where they just had 22 points through 3 quarters of action before exploding for 29 in the fourth.
Speaking of, that's the point total they have Harvest Prep at right now, 22 points. 50 points under their average almost all the way through the third quarter. Big offensive rebound. Sorry, Brian.
Yeah, keeping it alive and dotting the I. Valentine keeps the run rolling.
Talking to Zach Holden sitting next to me. This would be the first time Crawford's played for a regional championship if they can hold on.
David Sheldon's been here with his team 4 other occasions, knocked out at this point. Nice move, end to end. Beautiful stuff right there from Brandon Marotti.
McKibben had an opportunity to take the charge there, but he didn't want to risk maybe getting a block call on an and one. I like the decision by him to defend instead of try and take the charge.
Marotti off the bench has provided some excellent scoring, as that's tipped out of bounds by Shahid, who's going to check out, as will Adonis Abrams.
"17-point Colonel Crawford lead. They've just really controlled the pace here. And now, you know, Valentine and Baker taking over this third quarter as Harvest Prep even more keying up on Mason Studer. But like I said in the pregame, they have just so many pieces that if they're all on, it's really hard to defend by doubling anybody.
Well, that's how you get to the top of the state rankings, Travis, is just have a whole bunch of quality basketball players under David Sheldon, who's got this program humming right now in his 16th season. When they are at their best, this team nearly unbeatable.
And another motivation for this squad is Studer. A rare miss at the bucket for him.
But then Baker showing some excellent want to drive and energy right there. Made that haul happen to get the Eagles the ball right back.
And as if this team needed more motivation, their motivation for this was to be the first team to make it to a regional final. Not only that, get that rematch, that possible rematch with Ottawa Glandorf, who in 2020 didn't just beat them, but pretty much ran them off the court right here at OG in the regional semi.
Glandorf's going to be in action tonight, the Lima District champions in the second half. Second game here at BGSU, taking on Eastwood, the Central Catholic District champions. We see that we've got an awesome viewing audience, 1,600 of you watching Valentine find his range. Prep, no answer.
That's just been the night for Prep, even with their good looks. They just haven't been able to get it into the net.
Look at the poise. Always Mason Studer under control with the basketball. Rarely ever looks flustered on the court.
That was deflected just enough.
Prep's got a 3-on-2 here, but Baker with the long limbs gets back into the picture. What a difference maker he's been here in this third stanza.
Absolutely, and that's just attributed to Crawford getting back. They got into the lane, set it up, didn't allow Prep to get in with the layup attempt, and at last second tried to force it out, and Baker's there for the easy steal.
Eagles would love to hold for the final shot here of the frame. Already a 19-point cushion, could be larger as we head to money time.
And you got to think if Crawford can get this over 20 points at the buzzer, maybe a bit of a dagger here.
Well, that's what we thought in the district title game. So you'd hate for the shoe to drop and be on the other foot for the Eagles here tonight, but such an uncommon victory. I don't know that we will ever see magic quite like we saw
and with
at Norwalk.
them being the team that did it, you got to think they know
they're on high alert.
It could happen. Yeah,
for sure.
And also, if they can continue to pile it on in this fourth quarter, maybe extend the lead out a little bit more, it's going to make those other two semifinalists really think about what they have to go up against.
Oh, instead it's going to be Ronnie. Transition bucket, takes it himself, beats the horn. Hey, 17-point game.
Hey, that's a little
just
momentum.
like
That's
we
a little
saw.
momentum right there going into the fourth.
That is where we are headed. Colonel Crawford firmly in front.
It's nice having that one-on-one connection with each one of your instructors because the class sizes are so small. You can have conversations and understand things better. They know you by name and not just by a seat in the classroom. North Central is giving me the opportunity to be able to have the same education as it would be going to that 4-year, but I can do it at home and I can stay home and still be a mom and work full-time.
Hit him with it, Ski.
It's money time, folks. Colonel Crawford starting off the fourth quarter by taking it away from Harvest Prep, who already trails by 17. I'm Brian. Travis is joining me here tonight on the call. Colonel Crawford looking to punch their ticket to the regional championship for the first time in program history. And they are really looking like that's going to be the case here, Travis.
But you said it right before the end of the quarter. They got to keep this intensity up because you saw what Crawford did to Western Reserve in the final few minutes of that game. They can't let that happen to them, and that's not what you want to see.
Brandon Roddy heading to the free throw line. Double-figure scoring off the bench tonight. The Warriors have really needed him to bring some offense tonight. A team that averages over 72 per contest. They just got 28 right now, and I think you more have to credit the Eagles' defense than you would say it's been a bad shooting night.
No, absolutely, that too. We've said it time in and time out, they are shutting down the lane. They are really taking the offense that's got Harvest Prep here away from them. They are unable to drive easily like they have done in the previous games.
And these first several minutes here for David Dennis Senior's club are going to be so crucial. If they're going to get back into the game, Travis, I truly feel like they're going to have to trim it down to single digits here pretty quick. That way it's like, hey, we can do this. We're close now.
And you know, with any coach, they like to break up the quarter into separate mini quarters. If you win each little mini quarter, you're going to have a chance at the end. Harvest Prep, they're going to have to outscore Crawford by 4 or 5 points every 2 minutes to have a shot.
Baker had it tipped right back to him. Fortunate there. And now he basically just hands it right off to Saunders. who pushes it ahead, and Abrams puts it away. 4-0 run here by the Warriors to open things up.
This is exactly what Harvard's Prep has to do. Crawford's going to need to get this across the timeline. He barely does.
McKiven gives off now from midcourt. Here comes Valentine. Looking to shake his defender. He will to the rack. 2 free throws in Carter's future.
Yeah, that was a great look for Valentine. He had a take like that at the end of the quarter, unable to get it to go. But that's what he has to do. Take it to the bucket, get fouled, continue to keep this game in double digits.
This is the Carter Valentine that we expected to see here tonight. Just 8 points in the district championship game, all of them coming in the fourth quarter. That one rattles in and out, but his aggressive nature has really been on full tilt all night from the jump.
And not just 5 minutes of a quarter like we saw against Western Reserve. But once again, they've used that momentum and they've just got shot out of a rocket to start this game, and they've been able to sustain that lead.
And one. They're going to give the continuation to Abrams. Trims it back down to a 12-point game. And he's at the free throw line now, Trav. So this is what you needed if you're the Warriors. You're trying to get back into this game, man. They got 3 buckets already, just over 2 minutes in, and a chance for a free throw to cut it down to 11.
Yeah, they're starting to get comfortable now. They're speeding things up offensively, keeping Crawford from settling in with their defense, and they're getting hoops from it.
Adonis, who averages 10.5 per contest, caps off the 3-point play. Studer hadn't touched it much so far here in the fourth quarter. Saunders has been all over him.
And there's the foul. I was about to say they had 1 foul to give before Crawford gets into the bonus. They've just given that up. So now Colonel Crawford, continue to do what you're doing. Harvest Prep's going to try and get a little more aggressive. They may need to win this at the free throw line.
For the Eagles, I think it's all just going to come down to the offensive end. Are you able to at least parry off this run by the Warriors? You got to match them at times here, because if you keep giving it away and come up empty-handed, Harvest Prep's going to have an excellent chance to get back into this contest.
Yeah, 4 turnovers here in the first 2.5 minutes by Colonel Crawford. And this looks like a complete different squad for Harvest Prep in this fourth quarter. This looks like the squad that has gotten them to this regional level.
Yeah, they definitely look locked in right now. That would have been a huge triple, but Roddy came into the picture. Nobody touched him. In and out. Look at the hustle right now. 3rd opportunity here for Prep. Will they get a 4th? They will. Shaheed inside on his way to the charity stripe. And you can see the want-to right now. It's on a new planet here for Harvest Prep. They sense the urgency.
Just watch this on the replay. Just able to tip it up to himself without fouling over the back. In multiple chances, they still weren't able to hit the 3, but finally they'll have a chance at some free throws.
First team all-district performer, leading scorer, over 17 a night at the free throw line. These two can trim it down to just a 9-point game and so much time remaining, 5:05. If the Eagles win on Saturday taught you anything, it's that there's an eternity still left.
Yeah, and especially with a team scores 72 points per game, you know they can score in bunches. And a 10-point deficit with 5 minutes left might not seem like a lot, especially with them seeing the ball fall through the hoop.
And right now, there's nothing fancy about this full court pressure being applied by the Warriors. It's just full court, straight man-to-man, not even really running and gunning and trapping anywhere. But they're just bringing so much energy and effort that it's making it hard for the Eagles to get into their set. which Studer eventually will here.
Great composure by him. He had it stripped away from him. He had to go to the floor and still was able to dribble it up and get it across the half-court line at 9.5 seconds.
Shahid switches onto him. Mason's going to back it out. Off the drive, tipped away. Now Fickner attacks. Shahid doesn't bite on the fake.
Ooh, almost turned it over.
Valentine, a nice athletic play just to keep the possession alive. And now McKibben lost his footing, and he tosses it away. Unbelievable prep, end-to-end, an easy layup by Abrams. Timeout taken by David Sheldon as his team coming unraveled here in the final quarter. We're not even at the midway point, already trimmed down to 7.
Wow, this is, I mean, I saw this with another team a couple nights ago, but Harvest Prep kicking it up to 11 here. Only down 7. Coach Sheldon finally getting a timeout. Eagles in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, as we're in a Baker's Pizza timeout, it's going to be a full timeout. Again, I just think that at the offensive end for Colonel Crawford, you gotta deliver some counter punches here. This has become a heavyweight fight, okay? It took the Harvest Prep team to the championship rounds to finally start finding themselves. But now they're in their range, man, and they're playing some excellent basketball. So for the Eagles, you have to deliver some combos here, get some points. If not, they're in real trouble, as they know they just did it to somebody else just a few days ago.
This is a regional semifinal. This is a Sweet 16. You know any squad's going to go 32 straight minutes. You're going to have to outwork them for 32 minutes. Crawford did it for 3 quarters. Can they do it for the final 4?
Just getting the ball in
5-second call
is a problem right now for the Eagles. The momentum flowing in ginormous waves in favor of Prep.
Crawford needs a defensive stop bad.
Hudson out the corner, attacks, kick out. And you just see the confidence brimming right now with all of these players offensively for the Warriors.
Nice pass.
On the money for Shahid, he comes through. 2-possession game.
It's deflected out, it'll stay with Crawford, but wow, this full court pressure, phenomenal. And now Baker's in a tough spot to inbound here in this corner.
He is able to get it into the All-Ohioan. Here comes Studer.
Oh, almost a walk.
I think it was the right call. He only took 2 steps. He was just off balance, and it looked awkward. And now he needs to calm things down, man. I want to see these senior leaders step up here. Him and Valentine need to get some points. There
like
they
that.
are.
That's nice. That's typical Mason Studer right there. Prep fans behind me want to walk, but no, he had his pivot foot completely.
Abrams with the kick out. Shahid using that big body, backs his way in. Back-to-back buckets for him.
Crawford right now, they need to exchange buckets. Only up 5 with 2:50 left. They got to keep exchanging buckets.
Now here does come the trap. Someone's got to be open. It's Baker. See Horsley eventually give it up now. Studer. Excuse me, it's Valentine. They bring the fire at him.
You would love to see Crawford get this under 2 minutes and end with a bucket on his possession.
Tipped away backside from Derek Horsley. Prep with a chance to make it a 1-possession game. They'll misfire. The offensive rebound, though. Crazy scoop shot right there. Didn't love it from Abrams.
Studer's going to get some free throws on the other end. Wow, what a chance there. But just the defensive effort by Crawford, able to barely throw that shot off and get Mason Studer to the line for 1-1.
If you're just joining us, folks, this was a 10-point game at the half. Crawford ballooned it out to 16 by the end of the third quarter. Since then, Harvest Prep on a huge run right here. They have outscored the Eagles by 11 already in the fourth. Time getting short though, and missed free throws are so costly at this juncture of the game, especially with offense being as challenging as it has been for CC.
Where have we seen this before, Brian?
Oh, nice attack. Quick hands though, poked it away from Saunders.
Fickner able to get his hands in, get the steal. I want to know, Shaheed nearly got teed up. After the foul call, he went in for the dunk right there. That could be easily called a technical, but I think the refs are just letting the emotions play out a little bit. And down to the other end is going to be Braxton Baker for a 1-1.
Biggest shots of this junior's life, if he can earn the second. Only guaranteed one here. Braxton calmly delivers.
Best free throw shooter on the team. This is a big one. He can put this back to a 3-possession game if he can make this. Knock on wood.
Ice blue Gatorade running through his veins there. Extends the margin back out to 7.
Eagles in an extended zone now. And that's why.
Harvest Prep has not shot it well from long range tonight. Under 20%, but they have been able to get to the cup basically at will here in the fourth, as that's tipped last by Mason Studer.
Yeah, he's trying to get it inside to maybe get a look at the bucket. But again, quick hands by Harvest Prep coming from behind, deflecting it off of him.
18-5 run by Harvest Prep here in the fourth quarter. They have come roaring back. We got a game.
Finally able to hit from beyond the arc, only their second 3 of the night, but it might be the biggest to get this back to a 4-point game. This has turned out to be quite the basketball game, Husky.
This is more what we expected. I didn't think that we would see a lopsided affair here tonight. So for Colonel Crawford, just gotta weather the storm, knock down some free throws, take care of the basketball. What's really gonna kill them is if they turn it over. If they can at least get to the free throw line, this team on the season, almost 70% as a unit, that's fantastic. And you expect these seniors and guys like Baker to be able to step up and knock them down if they can get there. The problem for the Eagles is, can you take care of the basketball and force Harvest Prep to have to foul you?
You have to see, for the first 3 quarters, Colonel Crawford was going at a torrent pace. They were giving it their all. And is that kind of coming back to haunt them right now? Do they have enough left in the tank in this last 122 to hold off this Harvest Prep squad that is bringing it right now?
Prep entered the quarter with just 26 points. They've got 18 so far in the frame. Studer doing a nice job of just getting them here into the forecourt.
And the Eagles are just going into trapping zones right now. Thankfully unable to turn it over, but do they have enough? Under a minute to play.
Baker's not the guy you want to foul. Shaheed backside. Called for the whistle. I thought we were going to get a jump ball. That looked real close, Trav.
He wrapped around, got all ball there, but the angle from the referee, you saw he's behind him, so maybe you see a little more contact. I don't know. But nonetheless, Baker back to the line for the last 1-and-1 for the Eagles.
Really critical call right there for the officiating crew, because the possession arrow, while it did favor Colonel Crawford, it would have changed it over to Prep.
It would have forced them to inbound, which they've had trouble doing in this fourth quarter.
Front end good again. Braxton Baker 3 for 3 from the charity stripe in this fourth, and they've needed all of them. Coach David Shelton working up a sweat. What a surprise.
That towel is probably soaking wet right now. Clutch.
Prep needs some points in a hurry. Roddy lobs it inside. Eagles had 3 guys waiting. Deflected out.
McKibben with the last touch there. If he doesn't go for the ball at that last second, it might be a turnover back to Crawford, but nonetheless, that took some time off, 41 seconds, and you got to think Prep needs a 3 here. Crawford back into their man.
Roddy off the screen. Has to give it up. Outside now, Abrams checks the clock, 30 seconds left. All the way to the 10.
Clock still running.
And Studer able to create some space. So here comes Mason. Fouled with 20.6 seconds. And I believe that's team foul number 10. So 2 fouls coming up here for Mason Studer, who looks like he's going through some cramping problems.
Worst time. Nope, that's the right call, though. He wrapped around the shoulders like that, if we can get a replay, but he kind of grabbed him from behind with the shoulders instead of going for the arms, and the referees, after talking, call the intentional foul. So that's free throws and the ball. We'll see it coming up here. Maybe not, but he wrapped this, he went behind, kind of like what you would get for a horse collar if you brought him down. He had him over the shoulders instead of going for the ball, and I think the referees got together and called that intentional because he wasn't going for the ball, he was just going for the body.
If you're an Eagles fan, you'll love it. If you're a Warriors fan,
it's
man,
tough. It's tough.
It's an axe to the back right there. Killer, because not only does Studer get an opportunity for 2, as we mentioned in the first half with that technical foul assessed against the Eagles, they're going to get the ball right back, man, and this could just put it out of reach.
2-possession game here. If Crawford can get points out of this possession, I think you may be right.
Got to get it inbounds first. Nice screen, frees up Studer.
And there's the foul. 2 shots now the rest of the way for Crawford as well. But man, no matter how this game ends, the effort Harvest Prep has put into this fourth quarter nearly topped what Crawford was able to do in their district championship. What an effort by them.
Yeah, it certainly resembled the reflection that we saw from that amazing fourth quarter comeback by CC on Saturday night at Norwalk. But the Eagles doing what championship level teams do. They fought back. They made some big plays. Braxton Baker deserves a lot of credit for coming through. All 4 of his free throws good, and now Mason Studer delivering a nail right there in the coffin.
What an effort by Colonel Crawford.
And there's Baker with the rebound. He's going to be fouled with just 5 seconds.
I think it's safe to say they got it.
Eagles gonna soar into Saturday's regional championship game. You know we're gonna be back live and free with that action for you. Will they get the matchup they so desire, a rematch with Ottawa Glandorf, or will it be Eastwood? We'll find out. The victor of tonight's game gonna take on these Eagles, whose student section believes that they have won, and in 5 seconds, they will be 100% accurate.
And just with the way, I think the intentional foul was tough. But nonetheless, Studer was going to go to the line anyway. He hits both those free throws. It's still going to be a tough hill to climb. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people angry with that call. It might have been the wrong call, but still, Prep needed to make some shots from beyond the arc tonight, and they just weren't able to. And Colonel Crawford is now elite for the first time in school history.
Can you dig it, Eagles fans? You are moving on, survive and advance 26 games, no defeats, marching on to the Elite Eight for the first time in program history as they get it done tonight against state number 7 Harvest Prep. Stick around, we've got the Burkhart Farm Center post-game coming up. We will have live coverage from the press conference for both teams, so you will be able to hear from the head coach for Harvest Prep, David Dennis Sr. I believe they'll have a senior athlete come in and talk as well. And then for Colonel Crawford, get to hear from David Sheldon. They'll pick a player to come in and talk. And then we also need to decide who's going to be our Burkhart Farm Center MVP of the night. We will have an interview with them, so drop us a comment. We want to hear from you, the fans, who is deserving of being the player of the game. I think a lot of worthy players should be in the nominations tonight. Drop us a comment. We will take it into consideration as Eagle Nation is up on their feet. They are loving it. Marching on. Studer and company. What a game.
It's nice having that one-on-one connection with each one of your instructors because the class sizes are so small. You can have conversations and understand things better. They know you by name and not just by a seat in the classroom. North Central is giving me the opportunity to be able to have the same education as it would be going to that 4-year, but I can do it at home and I can stay home and still be a mom and work full-time.
It's Freedom Fest, Ohio, featuring Justin Moore,
You look like I need a drink right now.
Crowder,
God almighty, I hope you'll find
Rodney Atkins,
makes me wanna take a back road.
Austin French, and more. Friday and Saturday, July 1st and 2nd, Morrow County Fairgrounds in Mount Gilead, Ohio. For tickets and more info, visit freedomfestohio.com.
Flamin' hot, cheddar and sour cream. Flamin' hot, cheddar and sour cream. Flamin' hot, cheddar and sour cream. Genius.
Introducing Ruffles Flamin' Hot Cheddar and Sour Cream. Own your ridges.
The exclamation point on the night for Maurice Ware.
Well, welcome to the post-game show here at the Stroh Center, fabulous campus of Bowling Green State University. Unbelievable contest tonight, folks. 55-46, Colonel Crawford with a big win for the first time ever. They are elite, moving on to the regional championship game to take on the winner of tonight's Eastwood versus Ottawa-Glandorf game. And we are going to hear from just about everybody that mattered in tonight's game. Both head coaches as well as a couple of players. Nael Shahid already actually at the podium. Let's go ahead and take a listen to what he had to say about tonight's game.
What really sparked it was we didn't want to lose because we know how we felt last year. We felt like we deserved, and we felt like we should be on farther. That was our motivation. Everyone know last year we won 50, lost to 50-25. And that's what we thought of. He's like, man, we can't lose. We worked too hard. You know, last game was a battle. This game we had to grind it out. We just didn't want to win. No one wants to lose. Obviously, you see it for hurts very bad.
Will you see if we can get one?
I think they hit you with a couple of runs, coach, during the second and third quarters. Coach, just talk about that. Did they do anything differently?
I really thought the team that was going to win the game was the team that made the most threes, and they did. We shoot threes. Obviously, they shoot threes, and they shot the ball pretty well. And when they did that, they put us in the hole. And while they made theirs, we missed ours. So we kept battling 8 points, 10 points, 8 points, 10 points, and never got comfortable to do what we really wanted to do. And it's always chasing and coming from behind. So they made it really tough.
Maybe they shot the ball really well.
It did. Our goal was to limit them on doing that. They tried to chase it a whole lot. We had to help on their drives. They passed the ball out, and then any team, once you start making shots, they get confident. So then everything started falling. And now we started as a fight to come back. I thought we did a good job in the fourth quarter by limiting that. They got tired. We went to a small lineup. I had a chance. It was now 5 points, had the ball twice. Missed the layup. There been 3. Then we must throw the ball away. Another 3. And then finish the game with free throws. Praise to them, and the coaching staff for them playing the hard work. Witness to my guys for not giving up. They laid on the line and give us the opportunity to win, and we just fell short.
For you guys return a lot. I know you don't really want to look at the future, but the future is bright.
Yeah, the future is bright. As you can see, Brandon Roddy, he came out, gave us a good push. We still have Adonis coming back. Me and Zion's going to be serious next year. And a lot of the young guys that didn't really play, they're going to come up next year and be a big factor for us next year. And then this is going to make us even more hungry next year. We're going to work harder and just come back and be the best team we can possibly be next year.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So there is some sound there from Nael Shahid, who had nice performance here tonight. The junior put up 14 points, 5 of 10 from the floor here in this contest. His offense got the party started for them here tonight for the Warriors, who kept it going in the fourth quarter. Almost pulled off an incredible comeback here as they enter the fourth quarter trailing 43-26, folks, before they went on that big run. Got as close as 4 there in the final period, but Colonel Crawford did just enough to pull it out, as the final stats will indicate. Here's a look at the numbers. Eagles shot 48% from the floor here tonight, just 39% for the Warriors. Great free throw shooting game, too, for Colonel Crawford, and they needed him down the stretch. Some big makes specifically from Braxton Baker, who is going to be our Burkhart Farm Center MVP tonight. He went 5 of 6 overall from the charity stripe, including 4-4-4 in the final quarter when they needed him most. Studer as well dropped a big pair in the fourth quarter to help close out the victory as Crawford turns it over more than they would have liked to, but they're able to survive, advance, move on to Saturday's championship game. And we now have David Sheldon at the podium for the Eagles. We'll go to him now.
We were very good defensively. We were locked in, you know, and we knew we had to gap help. And for those of you who know us, we've guarded all year, giving up under 40 points a game. And this team knows that that's where you win. And I thought we did that. And, you know, my two All-Ohio would step up on the big stage. Mason Studer and Valentine was outstanding. There's nobody I'm more happy for this Carter Valentine, the way he stepped up, because he had a tough district tournament, you know, and he really stepped up tonight. And, of course, Mason and Baker. Once again, we put 3 guys in double figures. You know, Braxton Baker hits big shots and makes free throws at the end.
Valentine, I thought once he made a couple shots, it looked like he was loose, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we talked earlier. I said, CV, you're pressing a little bit. Just let it come to you. And then he saw a couple go through the hoop, and he's a talented player. There's a reason he's going to play college basketball. And, you know, I thought he really stepped up on the big stage. And my floor general had assist after assist. And he was taking 32 minutes of pressure. He's cramping at the end. He steps up to make free throws. And, you know, you get to this level, you got to have mental and physical toughness. And we talk about that. And, you know, and the outcome that we get is because of mental and physical toughness. And, you know, we talk about one possession at a time and not getting rattled. You know, we turned it over there several times. Just the guys, just one possession. We got to forget about it. And as Coach K would say, next play.
They banged on him quite a bit, but he was physically tough when he had it.
Yeah, you know, and that's credit to our weight room. You know, Mason Studer lives in the weight room. Our guys know how important it is because you get to higher up the level, it gets physical, and you got to fight through it and will through it. And our guys did that tonight with the physicalness and athleticism all night.
Yeah, Mason, I mean, talk about facing that team. That's probably one of the most toughest teams you guys have seen.
Yeah, they were definitely athletic for sure. We haven't faced anything like that all year, but I think I personally have played against that a lot in AAU, so it was no different than any of those games. But it was definitely nerve-wracking coming in because we have some guys that play AAU, but to play against that pressure on that stage, that definitely made us nervous. We turned the ball over early in the game, but other than that, we handled it pretty good, I think.
What does it mean to be part of a class that won the first regional game here?
Oh, huge, for sure. Growing up, I watched all the games. So growing up and being part of a program that has so much success, and to finally get to be a part of that is very, very special. I can't even bring that into words, just how blessed I am, blessed by God, blessed by my family, blessed by this community. You look out there, that's the loudest game I've played in front of, and the other team didn't even bring that big of a crowd, so it was just absolutely amazing to play in front of that. It means so much.
Would you say that the fan support there in the fourth quarter really propelled you guys to kind of close this game out?
A little bit. I'd say the momentum was almost on their side because they were making a run. But at the same time, when we made some free throws, and we definitely felt the fans, and that's got to be demoralizing for the other team.
You were part of the key play, that intentional foul late really kind of turned the tide. How big was that?
It was big. My calf started cramping, but I felt it. And he wasn't trying to be dirty or anything, but it got me high, and that's why I called it. But that was a big moment in the game, and I just knew I had to hit those free throws to just kind of slow down the run and just kind of get us closer to the win.
When you're the floor general and you see someone like Baker really step up and help you guys when you need the most, just kind of talk about his play.
He played amazing, but when you have guys, we can move the ball up the floor. When they're pressuring like this, we can get around them. You got to help a little bit, or else we're going to shoot layups. So once they help, when you can pass it out, and you have guys that can shoot like that, it's why we won our game tonight. They played very well. They stepped up, made some big shots, and that's what they've been doing all year.
In those second and third quarters, you guys had a couple of runs there to give yourself some space. Were you doing anything differently there just an athlete or just
We were just attacking in training, you know. At that point of the game, we were trying to get out in training, and we got good looks. Just a lot of time, he beats the first pressure, that initial pressure, and then there's help when you got shooter, you got layups, you know, Kurt, and our guys did a good job. We run a drill called Carolina Numbers 11-man, where you got numbers, and that's where it came. Because, you know, with their defensive pressure, we had to attack. And then, you know, in the fourth quarter, you know, Sheldon, we're going to spread the floor a little bit and make free throws or shoot layups. That's what we do, and we work on it all the time in practice. These guys have done that their whole career. And fortunately, we got over the hump the last 2 minutes and get out of here with a 9-point win.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, your mindset changed. You're up 17 going forward. Your mindset changed a little bit as far as how you're going to attack.
Yeah, you just talk about you don't have to take contested shots. You know, everything's got to be a great shot now with a lead like that. The problem was we had some turnovers, you know. We didn't turn over much first half in the initial third quarter, but then we just went in a spurt. And that's credit to Harvest Prep, though, too. That's not just us. I mean, they made plays, and, you know, but, you know, we always spread the floor. You give us the lead late, and we're going to shoot layups and make free throws, and we're fortunate to do that at the end, especially the last 2 minutes.
I mean, you guys, you know, would potentially be waiting for you there. I mean, just talk about playing in a regional championship game with that.
You know, it's special for this program, but right now we go one game at a time. And we said before the game, you know, we didn't talk about regional championship, nothing. It's Harvest Prep. Now we'll watch this next one, that's the next important. I think when you do that is when it's all said and done, you reminisce and talk about what it's all about. But in the heat of the battle, you know, you go in the locker room tonight, there wasn't a lot of hooping and hollering. Hey, we played another game, and that's why we're 26-0. We've never got too high, we've never got too low, and we just move on to the next one. And now we'll see a very good OG or Eastwood team, depending on who wins this next game. Gentlemen, thank you for all your coverage.
Thank you.
Back now with our MVP of the game, presented by Burkhart Farm Center. Awesome performance tonight by Braxton Baker. The junior stepped up, making some big clutch free throws down the end of the game, and then also coming up with a few steals as well, 4 to be exact. Let's begin, though, just with the team collectively. Did you feel like you guys got a little bit tight there in the fourth quarter, considering what you just did to a team on Saturday, or did you feel like you kept your nerves pretty good?
It got a little tight, you know. I felt we were pretty calm, but same thing happened last game, and we had to keep calm the whole game and not lose our composure. And I felt like we did that pretty good. Their crowd was getting into it, so we just had to stay calm. But
you made the plays that you needed to down the stretch. The first 3 quarters, though, you were easily the better team out on the basketball floor. Take me through the start for you guys and how you were able to jump out to, I think you had an 18-point cushion at one point.
We were really locking them up at the beginning, and they were getting frustrated because we knew all their sets they were running, and you could tell they were frustrated. They were yelling, and our sets were working, and we were getting out in transitions, and that helped. Carter hit some big threes in the first half, so did Nolan. So kept going.
You had a stretch there in the third quarter where you were able to, I think you had 3 takeaways all within like a 2-minute stretch. You knocked down a big 3. You had a block shot off of a kid. Having a stretch like that, I mean, you lifted your program at the time. Just take me through how cool that probably felt as a player out there.
It felt really good. You know, the crowd was getting into it, and had some nice blocks, and that really helped my confidence too. And I feel like that's why I was able to knock down those free throws at the end.
Well, I know that they've been relying on you all season long to get it done outside of just the seniors. What does it mean to you to be with those 2 really gifted top-flight athletes that you have? And you're definitely like the third player that they bring into the mix, and that they rely on you to make big plays night in and night out.
It means a lot. You know, Carter and Mason are the best 2 players I've ever played with in my life. And I've learned a lot from them, a lot from Mason, a lot from Carter. And they've really helped me get better this year. And I've just improved as the season's going on, and it's really thanks to them.
Well, magical season. Unbelievable that you guys are even in this point, given where you started the fourth quarter on Saturday night, the big comeback. Now you're elite for the first time in program history. If you can put it in words to me, just this journey, man, 26-0, getting to this point, how awesome has it been?
It's awesome. Like you said, first time in school history, so that really means a lot. You know, we're gonna remember this when we're 30 years old, and we're never going to forget this run we've been on, and it's awesome.
All right, well, our MVP presented by Burkhart Farm Center, Braxton Baker. Here's your MVP pin, buddy. And if you want to look into the camera, I think this is our biggest viewing audience of the year. Give a shout out to anybody that you'd like to.
Shout out to my grandparents watching, Nana and Papa in Texas, Papa, Granny, and Grandma. Thanks for watching. I know you guys were watching, so.
All right, congratulations, man. Huge performance tonight by Braxton Baker, our MVP. Absolutely, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, we'll bring in Travis. We'll go ahead and wrap things up here from the Stroh Center. They got the second game that's about ready to start here, Trav, so we'll keep this brief. Yep. Just what we saw here tonight from Colonel Crawford. Go ahead, throw a bow on the game for me. Huge first 3 quarters for them, and then in the fourth, they allow Harvest Prep to get back into the game, but they shut it down when they needed it to.
They needed to dictate the pace early, and that's what they did. They got Studer going early. They got Valentine, despite missing some shots in that first quarter, started to get going. Baker, our MVP, hit a couple big shots, but his defensive play in the third quarter really allowed Colonel Crawford to balloon that lead out enough to even withstand a run that everybody was expecting Harvest Prep to have. They're such a good team. They score so many points. You knew they were going to come back, but was the lead enough? Colonel Crawford did build it out enough. They hit their free throws down the stretch, and they're going to their first Elite Eight with a chance to punch their ticket to Dayton on Saturday.
Fantastic performance by the Eagles as they move on. A 55-46 victor here tonight. That will wrap up our coverage here from Bowling Green. Coming up tomorrow, guess what? We're going to be right back. Huron's going to be taking on St. Mary Memorial. You can check that out live and free. Tip-off for that one is about 8 p.m., so our pregame will begin right around 10 minutes before that. Colonel Crawford then on Saturday will take on the winner of Glandorf versus Eastwood on Saturday afternoon, right back here at the Stroh Center, and then we're going to have some state championship basketball as well.
I'm heading down to Dayton actually tomorrow to start coverage with the Buckettes of Buckeye Central. I cannot wait to get down there, but we will have all comprehensive coverage of the Buckettes and their path to a state championship.
I want to thank everybody who helped make tonight's game possible, including Storm Blunchley, Garrett Parlett, and Adam Thompson with our awesome camera shots on the sideline tonight. Hayden Gray up top as well, bringing you, I think, the most cameras that we've ever had for a game, and it was an awesome one. Yeah. Great showcase by both teams. And our generous sponsors, Burkhart Farm Center, always coming through, our best Colonel Crawford advertiser that we've always had from top to bottom. Baker's Pizza in Bucyrus, First Federal Community Bank, KAPLE & Company Realty, Freedom Festival Ohio, North Central State College, and Frito-Lay. For Travis Barty, I'm Brian Skoronsky, thanking you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.